Hipster
Hello, everybody.
generation.
Hello, everybody. We're glad you're here. We need to get started. I apologize. We've had a little socialization, and nothing's wrong with that. Thank you for coming to the March meeting of Caprock Writers and Illustrators Association here in Lubbock, Texas. I am DK Kerr Henley. I am the president this year, and my goal is to recruit more people for our group because two heads are better than one, that is for sure. And we support each other, we give each other ideas, and we teach each other so much, and we are so glad that you are here today. Just grab a chair. First thing I'd like for us to do is introduce our author spotlight, and that is Ms. Linda Broday, and she is going to tell us a little bit about her publishing success and also about our anthology plans. Linda is also our anthology chairman.
Good morning, everybody. I'm shaking. Okay, so this is not a cheat sheet. It's just the questions that I have to answer as I'm working on my author spotlight. So that made me to always look down. So thank you very much, Linda M. Massey. And I'm originally from Nigeria, and I've been here for almost 7 years in the United States. First of all, I came to Oxford, Mississippi, University of Mississippi for my master's in creative writing. Then I finished and came here to Lubbock in 2020 for my PhD in English creative writing focus. So I'm here, and I joined towards the end of last year this wonderful group. So thank you very much for having me. Thank you to all our directors and everyone. So yes, author spotlight. Do I read the questions? Yeah. Do I read the questions? No?
I don't have any questions for you.
Okay. I have.
You've got some questions?
Okay. So what I need to talk about. When did you start first? When did you first start writing? So my journey actually began, my writing journey actually began when I was in 5th grade. So first of all, we had the Christmas party back at home in my home country, and family, kind of thing. And every child received a cracker, this kind that pops. So my own cracker had a little blue elephant inside. So the next year, during the summer break, I was bored, and I looked at my little blue elephant and thought, oh, my elephant is also bored. So I should give the elephant a friend. So I decided to create or imagine a little tortoise as the friend of my little blue elephant. And I decided to write a story to give, a kind of story to the elephant's journey with his friendship with the tortoise. So that's my very first attempt at writing. I never had any idea like author writing and all of that. So I just wrote, and my father used to be a graphic artist. So on Saturdays in the mornings after breakfast and everything, what we do is sit, paint, color, everything under his guidance. So that first story, I actually drew the elephant, I drew the tortoise, and we colored and painted. So it was like story plus illustration. Okay, yeah. So that was my first attempt at writing. And what motivated me to become an indie author. So, back at home again in my home country, Nigeria, creative writing is not something, or being an author is not a kind of lucrative career. So you either have to be like a medical doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, then your parents and your family will be very happy with you because you can make money. So I didn't think of writing as a career path. So I went for finance. I did everything, got very good grades. But then my final year in college, you know, our third world government, there was an academic strike. So the staff, academic staff strike, they took a break. The government, you know, not paying them very well. So that break, I just decided to read. And I was reading an author's work. It's called Elechi Amadi. The title is The Concubine. It has some kind of mythological leaning to it. So I was reading and got very engrossed in reading it. And then I got a phone call from a friend of mine who knew that I had some, what would I say, like, I had this liking to writing. And she said, there is this announcement in the radio, Elechi Amadi is having a creative writing school, like a course, 3 months. I'm like, really? The next day I was there, picked up the form, went for the course, you know, and graduated with the best story award. And then it sparked up my writing again, right from there. So after graduating, I worked in different companies like engineering firms, waste management firms, in the accounting, heading the accounting department. But then during breaks, I always find myself writing, always writing. And then they say, Linda, come and go to the bank. Oh, like, oh my goodness. Now that flow is, you know, broken. So I just decided, why don't I just go forward and go ahead and do this writing? And then back at home, like I said, you can't really have a sustainable career in write as an author. So when you go and say you want to write, you are going to be the author, you are going to be the editor, you are going to be the publisher, you have to handle the printing, you have to handle the marketing, everything, like a one-man riot kind of thing. So that's what I did, and actually wrote these 2 books, The Price of Peace is a Play, and then The Talking Drum Poems. So I came up with this, and then you have to think of how you would market your work. So that's what I did. And it occurred to me that, you know, there's the opportunity to have these works used as literary texts in secondary schools back at home. So I went to the State's Board of Education. I told them, okay, I'm presenting, you know, like every other person did, you know, submit their work. I did, and they were both accepted by the government and used as literary texts for secondary school education for 2 terms. That's like 6 years. So I have to continue, and there's another story again. I don't have a copy of that one, but it's a children adventure novel. It's on Amazon. It's titled The Necklace of Rebel, Kajin Chronicles. So those are the books I wrote. You know, I did all my marketing and everything. But then one of the leading children's book publishers back at home, they republished the children's series, the children's book series. That's how it's there on Amazon. So as a student here, I cannot really pursue any more independent kind of thing, like anything that would earn me money. Because it's going to hurt my status, my visa status. So I like to keep to the rules. So no more. I just have them, but yeah. But then I have this from my master's program, MFA. So this was my master's thesis. Though it was named Koduga Dreams, but after graduating from my master's program, I then revised, workshopped in at Tech, some stories, because they are big stories, and then Fine Dreams came up. I'll talk more about this. Okay. Then, oh yeah, what's more, what's behind the story behind the latest book? So this is my latest book now, and I don't know if you heard of the African schoolgirls that were kidnapped in northeastern Nigeria in 2014. Yes. So there have been that kind of incidents happening. It's really complicated. So you have Islamist terrorists, they go on a rampage, whole section, the entire northeast, and start spreading southwards. So they go to schools, kidnap girls, mostly Christian girls, and take them into the forest, Sambisa forest, and all manner of things happen. So right after the 2014 incident, I think the president here then was Obama. So you had Michelle Obama, even had that hashtag bring back our girls, stuff. So that incident was, had a global attention. But right after that, you would think that perhaps maybe some kind of lessons will be learned from that experience to stop such kidnappings happening. But sadly, they still happen, and they're still happening. So this novel is a kind of a retelling of different, using myth, Greek myth as the backbone. So I'm telling different girls' stories about, their own experiences, but it's all fictionalized. Okay? So I didn't interview any of the girls, though I won the I won the research fund at the university to go and interview people at internally displaced persons camps back at home to write this book. So when I got back home, I interviewed different people. I went to different camps where they have people who have run away from their homes, had their families slaughtered, and all manner of horrible things. So they were living there. I interviewed them, and I also interviewed a father of one of the Chibok girls. So he's late now. So this is not a story about the Chibok girls. This is just fictionalized stories of other things that could happen to other girls, that have happened to other people, women, and how they try to find their own voice, how to find their own freedom, their own power back, getting back. So that's what this is basically about. And it won the Juniper Prize for Fiction in 2023 and got published. So that's it. Then, how has Amazon contributed to your success? Not much. Because like I said, I had to do all my business by myself. And when I find the children's novel series, that's the first one I actually did and posted to Amazon myself. But then I had to unpublish it and then have to give it to publishers, like traditional publishers, to republish it. So, and then coming here again, like I said, I don't want to get into trouble. So I'm not looking for extra money. So, no Amazon business. What's the greatest joy of writing for you? And this is going to the next one. Your fans, what your fans mean to you. The greatest joy of writing for me and what my fans mean to me is if someone, even one person, can read something I've written and they are blessed, they are entertained, they are informed, they're enlightened, and they go and read through and say, okay, yeah, I liked that, or I enjoyed that. Then I'm happy. Just one person. But then multiply it. If there are many people, like all of you, you want to buy my books, I will be happy. And you enjoy it. So.
Can you tell us about the anthology that you're doing?
Okay, yes. So the anthology. Okay. So now we have the anthology. We're still working on the fees, entry fees. but we plan to have like 20 stories, and there are different options. So what we have, like, basically 20 stories, okay?
What's the title already?
Oh, the title is, where did I write the title? Oh my goodness. 1 minute, I'm coming.
Is it Beneath the Lubbock Skies?
Oh yes, Beneath the Lubbock Skies, an anthology of short stories and illustrations. So we have option for short stories, we have option for illustrators to be part of the anthology. And like I said, we have like 20 entries. We might have like, 20 entries. Let's just do that, 20 entries. And then we're still deliberating on like entry fee and prices. But if we are able to really go like and get like some kind of support, it would be great if we have like a grand prize of, I don't know, let's say $1,000 or every, and then we have finalists get something, or every winning entry gets a prize, let's say $100 or $200. But that's all dependent on if we get funding. But then there's also something to fall back on, like a kind of grand prize for like, let's say $500, the second prize $100, and third prize $50, and then every other, or the winners and then the finalists all get published and one copy of the book. And then
What is
themes.
Yeah, the themes. What is the content going to be about?
Yeah, the themes that we're looking at include a lot. So we get it out. We cannot do some kind of research because we want it to be place-based. And it's unique because we haven't really seen something like this collection we're trying to work on that have stories that are set in Lubbock. So we want to publicize Lubbock. We want to have past stories of past, present, future, set in Lubbock. So there are different themes there. Write stories about birth, rebirth, change, transformation, death, reunions, all genres like romance, mystery, thriller, paranormal fiction, and historical fiction, and everything. All set in Lubbock. And then some things you can consider when you want to think about ideas include like the Lubbock lines, ranch houses and ranching, the weather. We've had what do you call it, this tornado, right? Yes, and then one thing I love about the weather here is the haboots. Because they always remind me of the mummy. You remember the mummy, the Egyptian set in Egypt, where you have those dust storms, you know? I love that. But when I tell my friends I love the haboots, they're like, are you crazy? But then you can just imagine assuming one priest from ancient Egypt finds himself reincarnated in Lubbock and really happens to things like that. Then you have square dancing, Friday night lights, apparitions. I think there was an apparition that happened in Lubbock here on like a Catholic thing with a Mary figure.
Oh yes.
Yes, so you could write something historical about that. Okay, so there are so many things people can write about. So our goal for the project, like I said, is to capture Lubbock's history, the culture, even the foods. Okay? So like if people who haven't been here before they come, what can you write to showcase that, okay, this is what you or a character in your work has experienced as, let's say, food or foodways in Lubbock that will make them like know more about Lubbock and so many other things. So the illustrations also. I think that's it. Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm very excited about our anthology, that it is going to be Lubbock-based. We talked with Wade at Barnes & Noble. He's the manager there, and he specifically asked for books and information about Lubbock. That was the last thing that was one of the things the most asked for me in our local Barnes and Noble. So that's why we are taking his advice and we're writing about things. It can be historical fiction, it can be a research-based project, it can be an illustration of local areas that are scenic and surprisingly beautiful, and especially our tech campus is gorgeous. So anyway, we want to thank you so much for all your work and research and ideas that you came from in your writing story. It's amazing. Okay, Kim's going to fill us in on some business, and then we'll get started with our program.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Let me get my dates up. Okay, so we do have a few events coming up, a few announcements. First off, we have a fundraiser at Minchie's on, okay, you'll put it in your calendar right now, it's only 10 days away, March 19th. Tuesday, March 19th, so 10 days. From 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. If you go to the Minchie's on 82nd and Quaker in that Kingsgate Center, tell them that you are there for Caprock Riders, then 20% of the proceeds are going to go to our organization. So, I mean, you might have done that, like your kids' organizations or something have done those kind of fundraisers before. We have a couple of those scheduled for the next few months, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, it's a good fundraiser for us. It'll be fun anyway. I like yogurt, so that's good. We'll go get some frozen yogurt. Maybe we can, be there, and then we're not allowed to they made it very clear in the rules that we can't try to lasso people as they come in the door and say, tell them we're in Caprock. We can't do that. But if we could, talk about how great our group is loudly, so maybe other people there can hear it, and then we can get a little bit of publicity for the group. So again, that's March 19th, anytime from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. So anytime you want to go in there and get some yogurt, if you want to take the whole family, tell your friends, make a date, then we'll hopefully raise a little money for the group. And that our fundraising efforts are going towards paying stipends for out-of-town speakers, so we can pay a little bit of, maybe some mileage or something for speakers to come in. Because we're a little remote out here. It takes a little bit to get people here. We're going to be doing another one in May. In the information will come out in the newsletter, but in May we're going to do one at Chipotle's. Same shopping center, 82nd and Quaker. So I'm just trying to keep it simple at first. But we're going to try that out, and more information will be coming about that. And then also, we have a super fun thing coming up Memorial Day weekend. We're going to do a book fair at Barnes & Noble. I don't know if you guys had done this with your school, but same kind of thing where people go in and buy books and they mention Caprock Riders, we get a portion of that, but also we can sell our own books there. And so there's going to be a sign up going around for shifts, 3-hour shifts, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday of Memorial Day weekend from 12 to 6. There's going to be a form that will come out. They want to know the name of the author and what kind of book you're promoting, the name of the book that you're promoting.
They're going to order them for us.
Oh, they're going to order them for us. Okay.
We need to tell them which book we're promoting.
Okay. So can we only do one, or do you know?
I don't know. We'll have to find out.
We'll find out. We'll find out, and we'll let y'all know. And I think it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
We can let you know pretty soon, though.
Yeah. Okay. It'll be a good thing for us. It'll be a good thing for the group. So, all right. Do you want me to go ahead and get started, or do you want to go first? Or so DK and I are doing,
And Linda.
and Linda also. So I'm going to need for you to log into your computer. So Linda has lots of experience with or more experience. So I said lots, and she went wrong. She has some experience with querying. I have a little experience with querying. DK has experience with querying.
The only experience is workshops.
So we both, We both have done some online workshops in the last few months, and so I took notes from the workshop that I attended. She took notes from the workshop she attended, and we're kind of sharing our information. We do plan an event later in the year where you can get a chance to query an actual agent. So we want to be all prepared for that. So, okay, so was that what I'm supposed to do? Okay. Keep clicking. Okay, here we are. Okay, yes you can. Query like a, I was expecting Peter Frampton to play behind me. How do I do that? Okay. That threw me. I wasn't expecting the soundtrack. Okay, so the information that I have is from Jane Friedman, who you may have heard of Jane Friedman. She's a very visible writing coach, author. She spent 25 years in media and publishing industry. She worked for Writer's Digest for a while. She's co-founder and editor of The Hot Sheet, a paid newsletter about book publishing industry. She does online workshops. Obviously, this is where I got this information. She has other workshops scheduled kind of constantly. So I highly recommend her workshops. It was the one I did was very interesting and informative and up to date. Like my experience is pretty old with querying, so it was good to see to hear like what the state of the industry now. So the first thing she said that you need to ask yourself is before you submit a query is your book truly ready? We all hear these horror stories of how long it takes to get an agent or an editor to respond. And so there's this temptation to send it out before it's really ready, and then you'll keep working on it while you wait. She said, but chances are if it's really something that they like, you're going to get a request sooner than you think. And so you don't want to be caught in an awkward position where they say, can I read the whole book? And you don't have the whole book ready. You want to respect their time as busy professionals. And so don't send it out until it's completely ready. The next one is, are you ready? Are you sure that you're ready personally for this business? Like even if you land the agent, then you're still probably going to be, chances are good that you're going to face several rejections. So you just need to make sure that you're prepared for that. Which I think we all know that, but like knowing that and experiencing that are sometimes two different things, right? So just make sure that you're prepared for that. Each agency and publisher has their own guidelines, and so what you don't want to do is give them an easy reason to reject you. Like if they have a checklist of things that they want to see and things that they definitely don't want to see, don't give them an easy out. Like you want to stick around to the finish line, which is them, actually reading your full book. And so make sure that you're not kind of putting roadblocks in your way just because you didn't follow the guidelines. To charm or not to charm? She talked about the purpose of the query ultimately is seduction. So you want to seduce them to read your full book. And so there's conflicting advice about how to query properly, how personal to get, maybe how to get kind of an inside track or make a little joke or something like that can disarm them and charm them. And so if you're confident that you have that, like if you feel pretty confident that you have a good joke, or you feel confident that you have, like you saw them on social media and they made a joke about their King Charles Spaniel or something like that, and then you know about King Charles Spaniels or you have one or something like that, then that can be kind of a personal in. But you need to be very, very careful about that. And so just kind of, maybe workshop it with your critique group or something. Like, how does this land? Is this landing okay, or is this awkward, or is this weird? But the truth is, if you can kind of endear them to you, like, that's super, super helpful. Okay. All right.
Just church a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm good. You good?
Okay.
Go
I'm
ahead.
going to continue on. You let us know if you want. Okay. Okay. So anyway, like I said, just maybe like workshop it with your critique group or something to see how your jokes are landing, because hopefully you have people in your life who are honest with you about things like that. Yes.
One of the things that I've run into is that agents now, they want you to know, they want to know why you're contacting them
Yeah.
specifically. And, you know, years ago, you could send out a form letter to 25 agents.
Yeah.
Now, you're expected, in my understanding, you're expected to get on social media to find out about these people, and then to be able to say some personal thing, you know, I liked what you said on this, or just to say, I think maybe we could work together because you some
Yeah.
little thing to
Some
show.
kind of
You didn't
personal-
just send it to this person.
Yeah.
You actually researched it and feel like there's a possibility.
Yeah. She said something similar too, like you don't want to say, like I found you on Publishers, what is it? The Publisher Marketplace, because that's like just like calling up somebody for a date and saying I found your name in the public. Like it's so, you really kind of want to make that same connection. You look like a girl. I need a girl. So like that kind of thing. So.
I wonder maybe if an attitude in general to deal with this is like Granddad had an interest in saying he'd get on about something, son, you need to be calm, cool, and business.
Yeah.
Is that would that be an interesting approach to deal with this stuff?
Yeah, well, you certainly want to be professional, and it is a business, so, you don't want to be unprofessional. You don't want to make an inappropriate joke. You don't want to, so it may be kind of a fine line between what's too personal, and what's, to acknowledge the fact that I actually have researched you a little bit. I know what you're interested in. I know what kind of books you've successfully been able to place, and so they know that you didn't, like I said, just pick them out of the phone book. So, okay. So another thing she said is, does your query reveal more than you want it to? Because queries can reveal significant flaws in your work. Like if you don't know how to write a sentence. So that's bad, that's not great. But also it can reveal if your book is like through no fault of your own, if there are stories that are just not selling right now. Or this agent says, I already have 3 writers who have this type of story and I haven't been able to place it yet. I'm not going to take on another one that's similar. Like I'm just not having luck with that genre, or something that's super hot right now. Like she referenced like an AI novel, something based, not written by AI, but about AI. Like something like that that's maybe super hot topically, like in our society, but also it's not really selling. She referenced something like somebody had said that they just automatically reject anything that has a movie theater owner protagonist. That seems so specific. I couldn't imagine that they got a lot of those. But apparently that agent said, I just automatically, if the protagonist owns a movie theater, they're out because I can't sell it. So I don't know. But the point is, agents have things that they like, and they have established these relationships with publishers, and so they kind of know, like, I think so-and-so, this really seems right up their alley. Or I know this is not going to sell. Like I know this book, I'm not going to be able to find a match for this. And that's really through no fault of your own. Your book might be great, but just, I guess, something to keep in mind, that sometimes we can have a very great letter, but they just don't think they can sell it, and that's just the way it is. That is the nature of this business we're in. And so the elements that go into a query, first of all, she says get very quickly to the point. You want a one-page query letter, it's like 300 words, you need to get very quickly to the point. The most important thing is your story description, so make sure that that's very finely honed. And then in no particular order, the other things that need to be included are, let me see. Okay, your working title, your genre, your word count. She said if you don't want to include a genre, you can include comp titles to kind of orient them on what kind of story it is. And then a bio note if you want to. Like if your personal biography somehow contributes to that, why you're writing this kind of story, like I'm a former CIA, remember Taylor Moore was here, he was former CIA, and then you wrote a book about a CIA agent, and so that would, I would include that, if that were me, things like that, but you don't have to put a bio note. And then a lot of agents want to see a log line, like a one-line description of your book. So those are the elements that need to go into your query. Speaking of comp titles, she said it's not essential that you do comp titles, but a lot of people do it, and a lot of agents like it. You need to be very careful. So what that is like when you're saying fans of this author would like this, or this title is kind of a Gone with the Wind meets Star Wars. But, something like that, where it's, two different things kind of describe your book. And so using comp titles can be very powerful, can be very helpful. You want to be careful what you do, though. You don't want to, don't say fans of Stephen King. Don't pick like a super successful author, because that makes it look like you think, like you're deluded. And then you want to make sure that you're picking titles that are within like 5-10 years old at the most, more recently. She said, I've seen this a lot with movie titles because more people, have watched the movie and then have read specific books. But she said the agents really want to know that you read, and so you're better suited if you go to the bookstore and see the display of where your book might be, and then use successful books in that kind of display to use as your comp titles, provided that they're actually relevant. What not to include? She had a really funny part about do not say what your critiquer thought of it. Do not say what your grandmother thought of it, or your kids thought of it, or whatever. She said agents don't care about anybody's opinion but their own. They do not care. They don't want to hear it. So I thought, maybe if it won a contest or something like that, that's kind of, someone else's opinion. But otherwise, just don't worry about it. They'll decide if they like it or not. And then finally, how do I find an agent? And this is one of the things we were talking earlier about, how finding an agent has changed in the last few years. So one of the cool things out there now is called Query Tracker, and you can set up an account, a free account as an author, and you can find agents. You can search in there for agents who are looking for books in your genre, and you can sort by whether they're accepting solicitations right now or not. And you can actually do your submission right there in Query Tracker. So you can just upload all your information and then send it to multiple at a time. Agents use a thing called, I was just looking at this morning, I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, they have like a similar system that interfaces, I think, and so they can look for books, or they can also access Query Tracker. Anyway, It's free. There's a free basic membership, and then there's a premium membership that's $25 a year, which I thought was really cool. So if you're planning to, so you don't have to keep like a list of who all you've sent something to. You can just put it on a query tracker, and it'll keep track of it for you. There's also, I believe, like a community there, so you can talk to other authors, kind of like if you hear, I heard that they're closed for submission, or I heard this agent is going to be at this conference, or whatever, then you can share their information. So it looks like a pretty cool little community there, and very helpful. There's also a website called manuscriptwishlist.com. So authors don't join it. You can't create an account. You just go there and search. So agents and editors create an account, and then they talk about what they're looking for. So it's a perfect place to look for agents. And then it's called Manuscript Wishlist, manuscriptwishlist.com. And then, of course, there's the old Publishers Marketplace. I mean, it's not old. It's still, it's active. But it's $25 a month. So, like, you can maybe do, like, when you get ready, maybe do a 1-month membership, get your information. I'm all for, like, bargains. So it's good information, but it's also, like I said, it's pretty expensive. So, another way that some people find their agents is they look at books, like books similar to theirs that have sold, and then look at the acknowledgments, and if the agent, if the author has acknowledged the agent, then you can get names that way. And then, of course, also just following social media, following publishers and agencies on social media, and just hearing what they're looking for, and kind of building a little relationship with them. Skip over this. Some other resources. So there are a few YouTube channels that I follow that are pretty interesting. Jane Friedman has her own YouTube channel. She's, like I said, she's the one where I got all this information from. There's a literary agency called Bookends Literary Agent, and they do, I think, like weekly or maybe every other week, they do just a little podcast. It's just two of them, and they just talk about a different topic. It's always really interesting and informative. So right, that's my information. Does anybody have any questions about or thoughts about any of that? Come on, I'll pass it over to PK.
Thank you, Gia. Very good. I'm going to piggyback on some of the things that Kim has already mentioned, but I'm going to use a little bit different format. Okay, I want you to hear what most of my information I got from a lady named Kathy Barek, and I think she is. There's two things I want you to remember today. First is every word of your query, every single word of your query has to earn its place in your query. And I'm not kidding. That's what she says. That's what she proposes. And that means that it has to be well thought out and dynamic. Okay. And she does not believe in boring. Okay. And here's Kathy talking about something else.
At the end of the day, and this is going to sting for a lot of people who are potentially new to the pitching process. At the end of the day, it is your job to prove that your book is a bankable product. It is not the agent's job to suss that out. Agents are very busy people. A good agent is going to get between 20 and 25,000 pitches every year. The bulk of those pitches will not be a match and will not be structured in a way that the agent can even give it their time. However, if agents responded, if agents took the time to say, okay, maybe there's something here, what can I find? I need to ask the writer some questions. Maybe I need to read 50 pages. If the agent did that for all 25,000 pitches that hit their inbox, how much time would they have left to actually do the job that they are supposed to be doing for their clients? Not a lot. My agent, Jill Marr, calculated out once if she gave, I don't know what it was, X number of minutes to every pitch that she received, it would take her 30 hours a week just to deal with those writers who are not her clients. So it is your job to make sure you are giving them exactly what they need, because they don't have the time to try to figure it out. And the vast majority of writers who are in their inbox don't know that, but you do, and that's why you're here. So that's what we're covering during this challenge. We're going to talk about exactly what you need to put in your query.
Now, one of the things that Resources is, she works for, or owns a company called GetABookDeal101.com. And she has a paid program that's $1,000. But she gives a free workshop on queries about every 4 months. And she's on my Facebook feed. And if you will, and you can find her workshop. And then and of course she gives this free workshop, and it's wonderful. And because she wants you to go ahead and pay for the other program, it's called Path to Printing, and it's pretty amazing. So okay, so here's some 5 essential query formatting tips that you may not be aware of, and hopefully you are. And this is not part of our quiz. The quiz doesn't start yet. So the first thing is, we want one font, and we want no italics, no bold, no underline. Your words have to paint the picture. So there are some, I was pretty guilty of this. No emojis, no exclamation marks, no memes, no little funny stamps or anything. And you all know this. I'm just talking to the choir. All right, now we want to leave the snails in the garden. She says that is don't start by putting your address or theirs. They know where they live, and they don't care where you live. And you want to grab the attention from the get-go. Your post office box and address doesn't get their attention. So you're just going to say, dear author, dear agent, and you're going to put their correct name and spell it correctly, so that you're not looking like you don't know who you're talking to. You do not take your query and copy and paste it and send it out to 100 people, according to her. She wants you to personalize it for each agent that you apply to. And then, of course, everything's in black. No red fonts, nothing like that. Okay. All right, and we want to take Beyonce's advice. Everything needs to be justified to the left. Because when you get an email, you're going to get stuff that looks like this if you did not justify everything to the left, and you don't want your email to look like that when you send it out. Okay. Make sure you know your genre. That is my big problem. I hope it's not yours. So pick a lane and stay in it. And according to her. Now, my lane is now book club fiction. So, which is general fiction. So she wants to make sure that we all hit our genre. And that way, when you're applying to your agent, you're gonna, and that's who that person, he or she is, that's what they're looking for. Okay. All right, here we go. 20 mistakes writers make on their queries. Number 1 mistake is making my query look like what? What's your guess? I would take so write something down. Everybody write something down if you want to. And what do you think your number 1 mistake is making my query look like what?
A history.
What?
A history?
Ooh, that's good. I like that. I like that. Anybody got another one?
Summary.
Mass produced.
Yeah, mass produced, good. Yeah, you want to personalize it, I agree with that. Anybody else got another one?
Cartoon.
What?
A cartoon.
I like that. Yeah, you don't want pictures on it, even if you're an illustrator.
A letter? Like
Yeah.
a full
Yeah, we're not writing we want that 300 words, that's that sweet spot. Now, if it's 301, that's not the issue. If it's 288, that's not the issue. If it's perfect, that's the issue. Okay, according to her, the number one mistake is making my query look like I don't know my craft, because you don't want to be a toad. Okay, thank you.
Is it better made to the French?
Yeah. Quoting mistakes other writers make on their queries. Number mistake 2 is playing what?
Hard to get.
Hard to get, that's good. I don't know what, I didn't do that, playing. I guess I didn't add that sound effect. I'm not quite sure what happened. All right, so here's this. Here's what she says. Playing or trying to be cute. It makes you look unprofessional, borderline, unhinged, causing the reader discomfort or a no-no. Because if you have gotten so weird and unhinged and unbalanced, or if you've mentioned things that are inappropriate, they'll just close it. Probably have missed your chance with that particular agent. Okay, number 3. Mistake number 3 is writing the correct number of words, and what number of correct words is that? 300. That's the sweet spot. Okay. I'm keeping you awake. You can tell I talk straight.
Good like that, you can probably have a few more.
Yeah, you might. Even he doesn't look like that right now. Anyway, never mind. Okay, mistake number 4 is not doing this. What is mistake number 4?
Getting to the point.
That's a good one. What's another one? Mistake number 4. Oh, thinking, don't need to do that. You can just say thank you. But you don't want to be too obsequious. Because their time, that 2 more words, yeah, I would just say, well, I don't know what I'd say. It would take me a week to figure out what I want to say. Can't do it on the fly. That's one thing about this query. You can't write it in an hour. You gotta write one paragraph, and then you're walking around thinking about every single word in that paragraph. All right, here's what she says. Using your own voice. Don't do that. Write a query letter. It's not a craft. It isn't a craft exercise per se. It's a marketing one. One of the things that Kim said the other day when we were at a meeting, I think I can remember exactly, is that we need to realize that your query letter is not having your book being compared to thousands of books. It's having your query being compared to thousands of queries. Thank you for that one, Kim. That was good. And that ought to be in the back of your mind all the time. All the time that you spent writing your wonderful book is wasted if your query is boring, or if you're talking about why your grandfather thought this book was so good. Now, if your grandfather is Ernest Hemingway, maybe I would put that.
Just don't say it's your grandfather.
No, just say Ernest Hemingway said this was a great book. Say, or Barack Obama signed this book and gave me a great, or just told me he thought it was important. So, don't lie. That's another one. Do not lie in your query. Jen.
So you are saying using one of your characters from the book,
Yeah, don't write your query in your character's voice.
not in your character's voice?
Right.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, don't do that.
All right.
Okay. Mistake number 5 is lack of what? That's a good one. Lack of focus. What's another one? Anybody got any ideas?
No bribe.
Say it again, Brad.
Bribe, put a bribe money in
Put a
there.
bribe on it? Oh, yeah. She has actually talked about that. And don't send gifts. Don't send a mail with, book with coupons or free $50 off a fresh chef meal. Let me send those to you all the time. Okay, so here's what she says. Unique and distinctive story information. The magic phrase if I'm pitching a series is, I have plans for a series. You don't have to tell them what the series is about. But don't pitch to somebody who doesn't do series. Okay? If they're not interested in series, but if that's what they're looking for, I'm looking to publish, the next big J.R.R. Rowling or G.R.R. Martin. He didn't even say that when he pitched his book. Okay. Oh. Okay. Mistake number 6 is, what's an obvious mistake we should not make? Anybody got some brain cells going this morning? All right, here's one. That one got me because all of my books have 600 characters in them. And so I have to really work on just focusing on the main character. And you can put generic characters with it, like parents. You mentioned their parents. They have a problem. But you're just going to focus on your main character. Or if you've got a dual point of view, you can say, I have a dual point of view between, or just say, the book is written, you want to work those. Okay. None of my words are working because I would hone in on character 1, character 2, if they had different points of view some way, and present that in my blurb. Okay. Mistake number 7 is not following what? Obvious. That's it. The guidelines. Submission guidelines. They don't want, some people want, this is very interesting because I never had thought about this. They do not want anything sent as an attachment, some people don't, because there is such it's such an easy way to introduce a virus to a computer. And I had never thought about that. And that's why they ask you to put those first 5 pages in the body of your paragraph. But they will ask that. And you have to read the guidelines. So that means, one of the things it says, if you follow the rules of the guidelines, that means that you can read and follow instructions. So you want to be able to do that. Okay, the next thing. Mistake number 8 is choosing the wrong what. That's right. Choosing the wrong genre or telling the agent your book isn't like anyone else's. They don't want to hear that either. And also, another thing you don't want to tell your agent is, if you like Stephen King, you love my book. Because that's putting you way up here. Or saying, my book is as good as Stephen King's. You make no claims about your book. Unless you have received a Pulitzer, you know, of course, from another novel. If you can, yes, sir.
I think I'm noticing, and this is from someone I've heard, some pretty letters on it. I think maybe it would help you write as a writer that you usually find that business agents and things are business people.
Oh, yes.
It's like Joe Friday, just a facts man.
Right.
Don't cut to the chase, don't waste the time.
Right.
Because they only have a lot of time, they get a lot of people.
Yeah.
So if you stick to the business, don't think like you're trying to impress people. You're going to a board meeting, they don't have much time. You only have 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Don't waste that time.
And that's about how long it takes to read a good 5 minutes or less. And if the first paragraph doesn't get a bonding with the agent, you're in trouble. So you have to have some kind of bond. We'll talk about that in just a
I
second.
see a lot of writers struggling because they're like, well, it could be horror, or it could be romance, or it could be Western.
Yeah.
So then, apparently they're saying.
But there is a general fiction, and there's people that go, yeah, I'll take that. And that's one of the beautiful things about general fiction is and that's what's selling right now. The general fiction is, school, the story about the chemistry, the lessons in chemistry. That is just that's about a powerful woman. What?
When you register your book as for your at Bowker's, they ask you what your genre is. But there is this one category that is for general fiction.
Yeah.
And it's not called general fiction, but that's what it's for. And that's what you pick the most.
Right. Is it called literary fiction?
No, literary fiction is a specific type of fiction.
Yeah, you're supposed to know the tropes. That's another thing, is know the tropes of the genre that you are writing. What?
It's called trade.
Trade. Okay. I didn't know that. Do you know the tropes for trade?
They consider it the most general topic.
Yeah.
Under fiction.
I like that. Okay. That's another thing, is know the tropes of your genre. That is a big deal. If you don't have a majority of the same tropes, then you're not going to be able to qualify for that. Mistake number 9 is not knowing what? Not genre. That's an issue. We already talked about that. Am I going to surprise you?
The subject matter?
Maybe.
Not knowing your craft.
The complaint agents have about query letters is not knowing what types of books the agent represents. She says that you need to go to the agent and look at the agent's backlog, the books that they have held place, and read 1 or 2 of those books. Go to the library and check it out, or get it from Amazon, do something, but buy one of the agent's books and read it. If that's one of the top agents. And then you, in your opening bonding, you can say, Dear Marilyn Weiss, I can't construct things in my brain, but you're going to be able to mention the fact that you know that this woman represents the author of, and then mention the title and say, my book has many of the same characteristics, or something like that. And that's one of those bonding things that you want to do.
Anyone can tell you think you know me well, but you don't know me.
We want to know that agent. Okay. All right. Mistake number 11 is thinking it's all about what?
Me.
Possibly. Yeah.
But we love you.
It's thinking it's all about you. The only thing that's important in the story and why is why your book is worth their time.
You
You're so vain. Okay. Mistake number 12 is being what?
Arrogant.
A bad writer.
You know what? That is exactly right. Boring. Yeah, no boring. Your synopsis, okay, we were talking about, Kim and I and Linda at our meeting about people writing synopsis for The Wizard of Oz, practicing. And if you, in your query letter, and you're Frank Obama, and you're writing to Penguin Publishers, and you say, "Dear sirs, I have written a book about a little girl in Kansas who got swept up in a bad storm and lands in a country and wants to come home." That's the query, but who wants to read that? So you're going to color it. You're going to put a orphan child living with her aunt and uncle, swept up in a horrific storm, in a tornado, and finds herself in a magical land. Okay, you got the idea. Okay, no boring. All right, another one. Mistake number 13 is being what? How about being too, I don't know, let's see. A bragger. Don't be a bragger. Okay, choosing the wrong, number 14, choosing the wrong what? On that, I'll go back to being a bragger. Just say, I have written stories all my life. They don't care. My family says I'm the best writer of the family. They don't care. All of my friends read my book and thought it was great. They don't care. And not only do they not care, but now they don't want to. They don't care either about your query or your book. Okay, choosing the wrong what?
Age.
Age? Oh, that's a good one. I hadn't thought of that. That's excellent. Thank you. This is why I'm asking questions, because that's a good one. We want to have the right age group. Oh, and that's another point. If you say, I love YA and I teach 7th grade English, and my book is about the carnage of the massacre in Las Vegas. So those two don't go together. You know, one doesn't go with the other. All right, here's what she says. Choosing the wrong time to start querying your novel. If you're halfway through, you send the first 50 pages and they love it and they want the whole book tomorrow. Well, you can't finish that book in one night. You can't handle that kind of stress. And a lot of times, there are authors that think, well, you know, it takes 100 weeks for somebody to get back to me. No, the magic query will get it. They'll get back to you within a week, sometimes within hours. Kathy Breck said that there are only 1,400 six-figure book deals made a year in the United States. Well, there's a lot of book deals that are less than 6 figures, but there are 1,400 six-figure book deals, and some of them are even 7-figure book deals, which amazes me. Okay, mistake number 15 is telling. Telling what?
A lie.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, we don't want to lie.
The end.
Oh, that's it. You don't want to tell, but also you don't want to tell a bit about yourself, but not too much. You don't want to give them too much information. I could tell in every query that I'm a private investigator, I'm a retired private investigator, but it has nothing to do with my writing. There's no reason for me to put that. And I have a master's degree, but it's not in writing. Of course, I wrote a lot because it was in education. So there's no reason for me to put that. If that had never been published traditionally, which I have not, just say I'm a debut author, which is the truth. And don't say I'm self-published if you only have one review, and one of my books only has one review. You know? And it's okay. I give it away all the time. Sir?
On the topic of not telling the ending, I have occasionally run into agents who, in their guidelines, say, tell me the ending.
Okay, then you follow that guideline. Yeah. Because there are some agents that don't publish books that don't have a trope ending. Because if you're publishing romance and you don't have a trope ending, it's not a romance, it's something else. It may be romantical, it may be a love story, but it's not a romance. So you have to follow the guidelines of the genre too. You are so right. Thank you for that. Mistake number 16 is not making a connection with the agent, the bonding. And you want to be able to do that. And you want to, don't be creepy. Don't stalk their Facebook and their ex and their, I mean, you can go ahead and stalk them, but don't tell them you did it. And don't sit outside their conference and, try to track them down. Another good place to meet an agent is at conferences. And in September, one of the reasons I wanted y'all to have this, because I want all of your queries to be ready and your books to be ready by September, because we're bringing an agent from Oklahoma City to come and speak to us, and then she's going to look at the queries and have a one-on-one conference from the ones that she chooses, which sounds pretty great to me. We're going to have the meeting at the Gross Library, and then she will take a chair and a seat inside the library, and we'll just sit there and wait patiently for her to conference with each one, or have a time frame for each one of us to talk with her, probably after the lunch. So, okay. We want to make a connection. One of the things that Kathy says about that connection is just knowing what that agent represents, and recognizing and respecting that, and mentioning it in your bonding open. That's your first paragraph to her. She thinks you need to make a bonding open, that you recognize who she is and what she represents, or him. Okay, asking for. What should we not ask for? What do you think? Money. Yeah. I'm hoping that I can get an advance for at least $100,000. But people do weird stuff. So don't do that. Please don't forget I said that and go, oh, but she said go ask for money. No. All right, but what she says is asking for help. I would like some suggestions for my novel. I would like for some suggestions on how I can make a series out of this. Or no. You don't have that kind of relationship with this person yet. After she signs you, she's going to say, I have some suggestions that will make your novel better. Or I have, my publisher that we talked to says he would like this, but he wants you to do this, this, and this. Well, you don't have to sign that paper. You don't have to do that. One of the reasons I like being self-published is nobody can tell me what kind of cover I use. Nobody can tell me what kind of tropes I can use or not use. And obviously I'm not in it for the money, because I am a retired school teacher, and
You make songs.
I am just driving a 14-year-old car.
I
Sorry.
think it's kind of like manners and etiquette.
That's true.
It's kind of like, would you go barging in so when you did no and expect them to give you $10,000 to feed you gourmet supper.
Right.
Actually not.
Well, and they say don't fly to New York and knock on their door and in their office and expect to see them. That ain't gonna work either. And they won't fly here to see you. You'll be lucky to get a Zoom call. And I don't care how much money we're talking. That's just not the way they do business anymore. Okay. You've already blown it. You've asked for help. Not having, one more thing, not having any what? Anybody got an idea? Have I tapped you out of ideas? All right, so I'll move on. Not having comp titles. She thinks this is a big deal, but here's the deal. The comp titles are very important. You need to have 2023 titles as your comp title. Not standard classics. Do not say, my book is a cross between Vampire Diaries and Sense and Sensibilities, which somebody actually got published. There is Pride, Prejudice, and Vampires out there. That 10 years ago, that was a big novel. And they even made a movie out of it. So you need to have comp titles. You need to find, if you're, yeah.
I was just going to say that we write for ourselves. We don't really
Sure.
write for any other reason. And then we get to the end and we look at it and we go, I have something that's not so.
Yeah.
And we realize that.
Sure.
And it's time to go back to the drawing board and make it so.
Well, if that's your purpose.
If that's your purpose.
If that's your purpose. If you think,
Now, who was it that was here that said that their agent made this rewrite of the entire story?
oh, that was Lauren, when it was Zen and housekeeping. The Zen and the art of housekeeping. She was just going to write a silly book. And they made her actually do the research and find out about Zen and how to use Zen and apply it. And she sold the title, but she didn't sell her book. And so now she's sad because she wishes that she had that original book because it was so good. And I would like to have read it because that girl's funny. Oh, she's so funny. Okay. Mistake number 19 is dumping data. Don't give us a whole bunch of information that, don't tell us the plot. We don't want the plot in your query. We want to be teased and enticed to know what comes next. I think I've got a pretty good teaser sentence when I tell people that Last Chance Texas is about a library that burns down with the librarian who's left 9 books for specific people in her town. And each book is, when that person reads it, will change their life. And I stop there. I think I got a pretty good grab on that. And I love my book. I think that's my book. All right. And it's mystery. And it hits the tropes. It's one of the few mysteries I've written. All right. Mistake number 20 is giving. Giving something. And I'm almost done. Giving the agent no reason to ask for more. Unless they ask for more. If they want it in the submission, tell me how your book ends. A romance writer will probably have to do that. Because they either need to ride off in the sunset together, or get married, or the family's all surrounded in the couple's third birthday party for their child. So a good query is enticing and rich enough to stand out from all the others the agent reads. Remember, you are competing against other people's query, not other people's books. If that's the one lesson you learned from the day, I've done my job. I have one more little treat to tell you. I'm a Facebook friend with Kate, the comedian. She's a lovely person. She wrote, the book about the dog that's named after the Winn-Dixie, yes. She wrote Winn-Dixie. Okay. My brain didn't fire. Thank you. I'm so glad we have a cumulative high here. I was walking Ramona, her dog, yesterday when a young child came out of the house and shouted, "Kate, what's your new book about?" I said, let's see, ghosts, raccoons, Ferris wheels, grandmothers, and chandeliers. Okay, said the kid, I'll read it. Great, thank you, I said. And when I got home, here we are, writers, revising. I thought, wait, the book is also about birds and family and bees and music and stars and love. And mostly it is a book about love. Ferris will go out into the world today. I hope everyone finds some love in it, and a raccoon or two. Now, she could have said that to any publisher in the world and sold that book. She did. She wrote all the rules, but she wasn't writing query, but she still got my interest. And I'll probably go by Ferris just because I want to read what she has to say. So, here's the deal. Entice with words. She used her author's voice. And good luck to everybody. I want you all to be New York Times bestsellers. I'm excited to hear about it. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, this is going to be kind of short. All of DK's suggestions and advice and all of that is so true. I have a good query letter example that I'd like to read. And this is kind of the way that they like to see editors and agents are, as she said, so they are so busy. They have a stack of books or letters or query letters and all, and it's just huge. And from the floor, it's just amazing. But they don't have a lot of time to mess with you, and if you don't catch their interest in the very first, they just put it aside. So here's a good one that I found. Dear Agent, to Renee, being a cop is like getting a bikini wax. It starts off hot, turns painful, and you end up crying. So that was her opening line. I am seeking representation for my novel, Playing Dead, a fast-paced romantic suspense complete at 67,000 words. As a felony court reporter, Renee has seen it all and typed it in triplicates. When her best friend starts getting emails from a long-dead fiancé, Renee smells a scam, and the women quickly file a police report. After years of handling disturbing, gut-wrenching cases, Renee has managed to distance herself mentally and emotionally with the use of black humor and a cold front of unshakable calm. During my career as a court stenographer, I have reported every type of case from petty theft to serial killers. Being surrounded by murderers, rapists, and thieves has gifted me with an offbeat inside slant that gives my protagonist edge sharp and gives my courtroom scenes authenticity. I'm a member of Romance Writers of America and Sisters in Crime. A synopsis in the first 3 chapters can be sent immediately. I appreciate your time and look forward to hearing from you. So her book sounds very, very humorous. High concept. High concept is what most are looking for. They want something different. They want something that grabs. And to do that, every plot in the whole world has been written over and over and over. But there's ways to make it exciting, make it, you take an ordinary plot and then you throw in something totally different, something that you people, I mean, well, I'm sure every book's been written, but a book that's not overdone. You can take a plot about cowboys, and you can throw in different things, like the movie Alien Cowboys from Outer Space. That was very different. And the Harry Potter series is so different, or it was back when it came out. But she used different things that gave life to her plots that make them different. So that's kind of what you need to do. Here is an example. Here's an example of a very good high concept. In 1969, 16-year-old Allison Cole lost her car, her virginity, and her boyfriend at Woodstock. 9 months later, she gave up her newborn baby girl for adoption under pressure from her parents. 36 years later, Allie is a single, successful businesswoman with a 16-year-old, when a 16-year-old boy shows up on her doorstep claiming to be her orphaned grandson. That sold, that book sold, then here is my series proposal for my Men of Legend series. Is about brothers and their patriarch father. They have this huge ranch in North Texas, and they're trying to hold on to it. And then an illegitimate third brother shows up and changes a lot of things. So this is what I came up with. In Texas, some legends are made, others born, and some are forged by destiny. Three brothers learned the past is as important as the future, and that true love comes only to those who dare to take a chance. Sam and Houston Legend are determined to hold fast to the cattle empire their father forged from a swath of North Texas land, but discovering an illegitimate third brother, an outlaw named Luke Legend, challenges everything they thought they knew. Will fighting their own flesh and blood destroy everything they have, or will Luke be the one to save them? And so that series, some others, I did a series on outlaw mail-order brides, and that you don't think of outlaws seeking mail-order brides. That was very unusual, it's very different, and maybe that's why that's so. But my proposal for that, my concept bit about it: love comes rarely to those on the run, outlaws 2 steps ahead of the law, and women hunted by those who fear them. But 3 men and women get one last chance at redemption by enlisting an underground mail-order bride service. It wasn't a legitimate mail-order bride service. It was, they had to keep everything secret, kind of. Weary of being chased, their breath, holding their breath and waiting for the next bullet, 3 outlaws long for a chance to start over. They dream of a wife and children, except men like them, the price on their head can't openly solicit for a bride. They're out of luck, out of options, and out of hope until they hear of an underground bride service for those whose lives depend on secrecy. So, just thinking of making your book a little different, a little, doesn't have to be in huge ways, just just a little bit. My last series was called The Hangman's Daughters, and this is what I wrote. A father's grim profession as a hangman has forced his daughters into existing on the fringes of society, shunned and unwanted. Time has stolen their chance for love and a family, leaving nothing but shattered dreams as they focus on running an orphanage. And in that, they find the purpose they seek. New hope comes as they care for the children and strangers in need. Maybe, just maybe, a family of their own isn't impossible. So that's just a few of mine. And these are so helpful in lots of ways. If somebody comes up at a book signing and asks you what your book's about, if you already have something written, something, I don't know, this is kind of, but yeah, and they're helpful doing promotion. You can use them making memes, making to get the publicity about your book. You can use them in lots of ways besides just this, and they're pretty helpful. The main thing is, and I want to reiterate, do your homework and make sure your story is what this agent is wanting. Find out what they specialize in, but also keep in mind that they're looking for something a little different, something from everything that they have been seeing. They would like to have the next great success story. That's what they are all looking for. So, good luck, and I hope some of this has been helpful. Yes.
Yeah, then listening to you, what you just did there, I realize why you've been successful. The question that I had, on those and on that first one that you showed, you went immediately to the blurb. Is that, and then later?
I always, in the query letters that I wrote, I always put a teaser line first.
Okay.
There are different, there's no right or wrong way, I guess.
That's right. There is.
But my personal preference was to put a teaser line instead of going into, I have a 45,000 word book that I think, to me, I put that below kind of the middle paragraph. I put what the book's about, which is mainly, that's what they want to know. What kind of book do you have? So, I always put it first, but
As I was listening to you, I realized that I've been thinking old school, really, where people had more time, when agents didn't get as many things, so it makes a lot of sense to me.
yeah. If you tell what kind of book you have, and let them know that first.
That's great advice, thank you.
That's my thinking. The way I've always done it. Yes.
Don't you think it's different though, because you're already published? I mean, if your name comes across there, and they're going to pick up your and read your query because they know who you are.
Well, maybe, but not at the first, not at the beginning. They didn't, or
Okay.
Everything that we've talked about here about how little time they have.
Yes.
For me, I don't know, what's common, but that makes a lot of sense to me that you grab them just like you would the back copy on a book.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's right, but
That's what they say to do.
Your query should be usable on the back part of your copy of your book, as far as I'm concerned. It should be a well-written blurb.
I really value what Linda's saying, because if some of us don't know, Linda is a professional published author, and she's still writing quality query letters. She's not just saying, I'm famous and I live in Texas and come buy my book, right? She's telling us this is how you do it in the real world. This is
I'm
great.
the same as everybody else. No better, no worse. So,
Those of you who are visiting, Linda is a New York Times bestseller. We're so proud of
Good
that.
advice.
well, thank
Yes.
you.
We're so proud of
Thank you.
And she puts out 3 or 4 books a year.
Dick?
Yeah, I write every day.
I know.
Anyway, is there any more questions? I guess we need to do the round table.
Just repeat some announcements. Okay, importantly, so next April meeting, the second Saturday of the month is actually the Public Arts Festival. So we're rescheduling our April meeting to the first Saturday of the month, it's April 6th. So for April only, it's going to be the first Saturday of the month, same time. Ricky Trion is going to be the speaker. Rick Trion, so some of y'all remember he was here last year. It was really interesting. He's had a lot of really interesting experiences since then, and so he's a great speaker. And again, Minchie's 82nd Quaker, March 19th. Let's go have some yogurt and raise some money and hang out. All right.
What time?
It's okay. So anytime from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. I won't be there that whole time. Like I'll come after work. It's a Tuesday. So, but like if you want to, call your friends or connect with other people and show up there. Like I'll come after work and. I'm sure, I hope to run into other people there.
So we can't hold this, we can't have them.
No.
We can hold this sign out in the middle of the road.
We can. They can't do a thing about us standing in the middle of 82nd Street, can they? Like they've got, yeah. I mean, I would not do that. Like, knock yourself out, Dan. If you really feel like that could get us some publicity, really good. If you want to make that sacrifice, I will. Yeah, I had to sign something that expressly said that I agree we would not try to wrestle customers in. So, but if you do go in and you don't see anybody else there from the group, just tell them you're with Capital Riders, and then we'll get 20% of those proceeds. Okay, lunch at Picosso's at 12:15. Y'all know everybody know where Picosso's is?
I made a bunch of reservations, so everybody.
Okay.
All right.
12:15. We got.
We got raffle. Okay.
Raffle.
Raffle.